You wanted to deep dive into motivation and success, right? Well, buckle up, because we're about to crack open 1001 Motivational Quotes for Success, a book that promises to improve lives.
Yeah.
This book is like a treasure chest of wisdom. It's got quotes from everyone, from Albert Einstein and Vince Lombardi to Napoleon Hill and even Walt Disney. We're talking heavy hitters in the motivation game, right?
Absolutely.
But let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
What are the real gems here? What are the recurring themes, the most powerful messages that kind of jump out from these quotes?
It's fascinating how this book, well, it manages to just distill these really complex ideas about success into these like bite-sized pieces of wisdom. It's like having a pocket-sized mentor, like ready with a pep talk whenever you need one.
Okay, I'm feeling pumped already.
Yeah.
So what's the first big theme that's grabbing your attention?
Well, right off the bat, there's this overwhelming emphasis on action. Like, it's not enough to just dream or wish. You have to actually, roll up your sleeves and do something.
It's like that old saying, a goal without a plan is just a wish.
Exactly.
Speaking of plans, one quote that really hit me was Mike Littman's. He said, "The fastest way to pass your own expectations is to add passion to your labor."
Ooh, I like that one.
It's not just about going through the motions. It's about finding that fire, that drive, that pushes you beyond your comfort zone.
Exactly. And I think there's a psychological reason why this theme is so prominent. Action is the antidote to fear and procrastination. When we take action, even small steps, it builds momentum, boosts our confidence, and it starts to turn, those abstract dreams into concrete reality.
It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Right.
But even with the best intentions, there are bound to be obstacles, right? Those moments when you hit a wall and just want to give up.
Absolutely. And that's where the second major theme of this book kicks in, persistence.
Okay.
It's about developing that grit, that unwavering determination to keep going, even when the going gets tough.
There's a quote from Vince Lombardi. It perfectly captures this spirit. He says, "It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up." It's that resilience, that ability to bounce back from setbacks that really separates the dreamers from the doers.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect example of how this book connects to the concept of a growth mindset. It's not about being perfect or never failing. It's about viewing those challenges as opportunities for learning and growth.
It's like that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8. But let's be honest, sometimes it takes more than just grit to keep going, right?
Yeah.
You need to believe that what you're striving for is actually possible.
That's a great point. And it leads us directly to the third major theme that kind of permeates this book, the importance of belief. It's about cultivating that deep down conviction that you have what it takes to achieve your goals.
There's a quote from Sugar Ray Robinson, the boxing legend, that really drives this home. He says, "To be a champion, you have to believe in yourself when nobody else will." It's about having that unshakable faith in your own abilities, even when the world doubts you.
And this connects to a powerful psychological principle, the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
What we believe about ourselves, whether consciously or unconsciously, tends to shape our actions and ultimately our outcomes.
So if you believe you can achieve something, you're more likely to put in the effort, overcome obstacles, and ultimately make it happen. But on the flip side, if you're constantly doubting yourself, those negative beliefs can become, roadblocks to success.
It's like Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Our minds are powerful tools, and we need to learn how to harness that power to support our goals, not sabotage them.
So it's like we're building a foundation here. First, we need that action to get things moving, then persistence to keep us going when things get tough, and then that unwavering belief in ourselves to fuel our effort.
Exactly. And those are the cornerstones of any successful endeavor. But there's one more crucial piece to this puzzle that I think this book does a brilliant job of addressing.
And what's that?
It's the idea of defining your own success. This book challenges us to go beyond those conventional markers of achievement, the money, the status, the external validation, and dig deeper into what truly matters to us.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Think about it. What does success really mean? Is it about climbing the corporate ladder, accumulating wealth, or achieving fame? Or is it about something more personal, more aligned with your values and passions?
That's something I've been grappling with lately. I've achieved some of those external markers of success, but sometimes it feels hollow, like it's not truly fulfilling.
That's a common experience, and I think this book provides some valuable insights into how to navigate that dissonance. There's a quote from John Wooden, the legendary basketball coach, that really resonates with me. He said, "Success is a peace of mind which is a direct result of the self-satisfaction knowing you did your best to become the best you are capable of becoming."
Wow, that's powerful. It's not about comparing yourself to others or chasing some external standard. It's about that internal sense of accomplishment, knowing you've lived up to your own potential.
Exactly. And that's where true fulfillment comes from. It's about aligning your actions with your values, pursuing goals that feel meaningful to you, and finding joy in the journey, not just the destination.
This is making me think about all those times I felt pressured to achieve success on someone else's terms. It's like I was chasing someone else's dream instead of my own.
And that's a trap that so many of us fall into. We get caught up in societal expectations or compare ourselves to others, and we lose sight of what truly matters to us. But this book reminds us that we have the power to define our own version of success, one that's aligned with our unique values, passions, and aspirations.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired. So we've got these 4 powerful themes emerging: action, persistence, belief, and defining our own version of success. It's like a roadmap to a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
And the amazing thing is that these themes are interconnected. Action fuels persistence, persistence strengthens belief, and belief empowers us to define our own path to success.
I love how these seemingly simple quotes are sparking such profound insights. I can't wait to dive into some more specific examples and see what other wisdom we can unearth.
I'm ready when you are. Let's see what other treasures we can uncover in 1001 Motivational Quotes for Success. It's interesting how these quotes, they don't really sugarcoat the journey to success. They acknowledge the hard work, the setbacks, those moments of doubt.
Right.
But instead of dwelling on the negative, they reframe these challenges as opportunities for growth.
Yeah, that's so true. It's not about pretending everything is easy or adopting some kind of toxic positivity, It's about recognizing that challenges are inevitable, right? And it's how we respond to them that truly matters.
There's a quote from Jean de la Bruyere that captures this perfectly. She says, "Out of difficulties grow miracles." It's like that saying, about pressure creating diamonds.
Right.
You need that intensity, that friction to forge something truly valuable.
And speaking of valuable, there's a quote from Brian Tracy that really struck me. He says, "The quality of our lives is and will be a reflection of how well we develop, train, and utilize this precious gift."
Yeah.
He's talking about our minds, right?
Precisely. It's a call to invest in ourselves, to cultivate a growth mindset, to continually learn and expand our horizons. This book really emphasizes the incredible potential that lies within each of us, just waiting to be unlocked.
I love that. It's so empowering to remember that we're not fixed, we're not limited by our past experiences or our current circumstances. We have the power to shape our own destinies through continuous learning and growth.
Absolutely.
And that brings to mind a quote from Edmund Spencer that really highlights the power of our thoughts. He says, "It is the mind that makes good or ill, that which makes us happy or sad, rich or poor. Our thoughts create our reality, so it's crucial to cultivate a mindset that supports our goals and aspirations."
Right, and that reminds me...
Okay, so we're taking action, we're persistent, we believe in ourselves, we're defining our own success, and are investing in our minds. But let's be real, there are still going to be days when, fear creeps in, doubt takes hold, and motivation takes a nosedive, right?
Yeah.
What's this book have to say about, dealing with those inevitable moments when we feel like throwing in the towel?
Well, there are several quotes that speak directly to the importance of courage in overcoming fear. They remind us that fear is a natural part of the human experience, but doesn't have to paralyze us.
There's that great quote from Ambrose Redmoon. He says, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than one's fear." It's about choosing to act despite the fear, knowing that the potential rewards outweigh the risks.
Exactly. It's about shifting our perspective, recognizing that fear is often a sign that we're on the right track, that we're pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones.
And, sometimes a little humor can help us face those fears too. There's a quote in this book that made me chuckle. It says, "If at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not for you."
Yeah.
A little levity can go a long way in helping us navigate those challenging moments.
Absolutely.
And speaking of navigating challenges, there's a quote from Baseball Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson that I think offers a powerful perspective on failure. He says, "I feel the most important requirement to success is learning to overcome failure. You must learn to tolerate it, but never accept it."
Wow.
What a fascinating statement. What do you think he means by that?
I think Jackson is highlighting the importance of resilience. Failure is inevitable. It's part of the learning process.
Right.
But it's how we respond to those setbacks that truly defines us. We need to develop the ability to bounce back, learn from our mistakes, and come back stronger.
It's like that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8. It's about that unwavering determination to keep going no matter what obstacles we encounter.
Exactly. And this reminds me of a quote from Harriet Beecher Stowe, the author of Uncle Tom's Cabin. She says, "When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you until it seems as though you could not hang on a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn." It's a powerful reminder that things can shift in an instant.
Oh, yeah. It's like those moments in a movie where all hope seems lost, and then suddenly there's a twist, a breakthrough, a change in fortune. But we have to keep going long enough to reach that turning point.
Yeah.
We can't give up before the miracle happens.
That's such a great analogy, and it speaks to the importance of trusting the process, even when we can't see the end result. There's a quote from T.S. Eliot that captures this perfectly. He says, "Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go." It's a call to, embrace the unknown, to push past those self-imposed limitations and see what we're truly capable of achieving.
So it's not just about overcoming fear. It's about daring to dream big, to push beyond our comfort zones, to explore, the outer edges of our potential.
And that reminds me of another quote that really embodies the spirit of bold exploration. It says, "The only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible." It's about challenging those assumptions about what we can and cannot do and stepping into the realm of the extraordinary.
Whoa, I'm starting to think this book should come with a warning label.
Right.
May induce extreme motivation and a sudden urge to pursue your wildest dreams.
I think that's a fair assessment. But, amidst all this talk of action and persistence and daring to dream big, there's also a thread of caution running through these quotes.
Oh.
It's a reminder to stay grounded, to avoid complacency, and to align our actions with our values.
That's interesting. Tell me more about that.
While many of these quotes warn against the pitfalls of ego and the importance of staying humble, even in the face of success. There's a quote from Dennis Waitley that really drives this home. He says, "There is no point at which you can say, well, I am successful now, I might as well relax." Success is not a destination, it's a journey, and it requires constant vigilance and self-reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like climbing a mountain. You might reach a peak, but there's always another one to conquer.
Right.
And it's important to enjoy the view along the way, to appreciate the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to stay grounded, to never stop learning, to never take our success for granted. We need to cultivate a mindset of continuous growth and improvement.
I'm also struck by the emphasis on aligning our actions with our values. It's not just about achieving success for the sake of success. It's about doing it in a way that feels authentic and meaningful. It's about making sure our pursuit of success doesn't come at the expense of our integrity or our well-being.
That's a crucial point, and there's a quote from Gustave Flaubert that speaks directly to this. He says, "Success is a result, not a goal."
That's an interesting one. I think he's suggesting that true success is a byproduct of living a life that is aligned with our values, our passions, our purpose. It's not something we chase directly, but rather something that emerges naturally from our commitment to something larger than ourselves.
I think you're spot on. It's about finding that sweet spot where our work feels like a calling, not just a job. It's about making a contribution, leaving a positive impact on the world, and living a life that feels both fulfilling and meaningful.
Okay, so we've explored these key themes: action, persistence, belief, defining our own success, overcoming fear, resilience, staying grounded, and aligning our actions with our values. It's amazing how these seemingly simple quotes can spark such profound insights. But I'm curious, what are some of the specific strategies or techniques that these quotes suggest for, actually putting these principles into practice? I'm ready for some actionable advice.
Well, you're in luck, because this book is chock full of practical wisdom. One strategy that comes up repeatedly is the power of goal setting. Many quotes emphasize the importance of having clear, specific goals to guide our actions.
Oh, yeah. It's like that classic line, goals that are not written down are just wishes. It's about getting those dreams out of your head and onto paper, making them tangible and real.
And Napoleon Hill, he adds this brilliant analogy. He says, every well-built house started with a definite plan in the form of blueprints.
Okay.
He's comparing building a successful life to constructing a building. You know you need that blueprint, that roadmap to guide your efforts.
That makes so much sense. But sometimes those big goals, they can feel overwhelming. Where do you even begin?
Well, that's where another key strategy comes in, breaking down those big goals into smaller, more manageable steps. This book is full of quotes that remind us to focus on the immediate actions we can take, one step at a time.
It's like that ancient proverb, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's about making those daunting goals feel less intimidating by focusing on the next right step.
Exactly. And once you have those smaller steps laid out, you need the discipline to follow through, right?
Right.
That's where the importance of self-discipline and forming positive habits comes in.
There's a quote that I've always loved about the power of habits. It says, "A habit is like a cable. We weave a thread of it every day, and at last we cannot break it." Small, consistent actions repeated over time can lead to massive results.
Yeah. And Horace Mann, he adds a crucial element to this idea. He says, so we must form good, positive, and productive habits. It's about being intentional about the habits we cultivate, choosing those that support our goals and move us closer to the life we want to create.
Okay, I'm ready to swap out some of my bad habits for some good ones. What other practical nuggets of wisdom are hidden in these pages?
Well, there's a strong emphasis on the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. Seek out mentors, collaborators, friends who inspire you to be your best self.
It's like assembling your own personal dream team, people who can offer guidance, support, and encouragement along the way.
There's a quote from Brian Tracy that sums this up perfectly. He says, "No one lives long enough to learn everything they need to learn starting from scratch. To be successful, we absolutely, positively have to find people who have already paid the price to learn the things that we need to learn to achieve our goals." It's about tapping into the wisdom and experience of those who have gone before us, learning from their mistakes and triumphs.
Yeah, it's like having a shortcut to success, learning from the best to accelerate your own growth.
And finally, and perhaps most importantly, I think it's crucial to emphasize the power of perseverance. This theme is woven throughout the entire book. It's about that unwavering commitment to keep going even when things get tough, even when you doubt yourself, even when everyone else tells you to give up.
There's a quote that perfectly encapsulates this spirit of relentless determination. It says, "I will persist until I succeed. Always will I take another step. And if that is of no avail, I will take another, and yet another. In truth, one step at a time is not too difficult. I know that small attempts, repeated, will complete any undertaking." It's a reminder that success is often a result of simply outlasting the challenges, of refusing to give up on your dreams.
That's the beauty of these quotes. They offer not only inspiration, but also practical guidance. They remind us that achieving our goals is not about some magical formula, but about consistently applying these principles day after day, step after step.
Well, this deep dive into 1001 Motivational Quotes for Success has been incredibly insightful. We've uncovered so much wisdom about action, persistence, belief, and defining our own unique path to success.
It's been a pleasure exploring these timeless principles with you. It's amazing how these quotes can spark such profound reflections and offer guidance no matter where we are on our journey.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm going to leave you with one final question to ponder. Which quote from this collection resonated with you the most, and why? What one small action can you take today, inspired by these words, to move closer to your own definition of success? Hold that thought. Let it simmer, and let it ignite your own personal journey toward achieving your dreams.
Remember, the power to create a fulfilling and successful life lies within you. These quotes are simply signposts guiding you along the way. Now it's up to you to take the wheel and embark on your own extraordinary adventure.